Okay, so welcome back. It's the Allies' turn, and we have the 4th Armored Division, and they're going to deploy the 4th and 10th Armored Division reserves, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Well, actually, maybe not. They're still doing deployment method A, so that might not happen. So here's the units in question. These S, they're strategic, meaning that they're the priority. I don't think the fact that these say the 16th on them makes them a priority over the 17th. I don't think that that's true, but the S does. So I would say this guy's going to deploy first. But the problem we're going to run into, and the reason why we may not deploy, is it has to be German proximate. And it has to be within this squiggly here, because this particular corps is only down here. The 12th Corps is very specific, and we already just established there's no German proximates to anywhere, so the deployment's not going to happen. The fact that we're not attacking down here is actually paying off, but they're going to do something else. They're going to activate. Well, no, they're not. They're a shattered corps. They won't activate because they're shattered. So then they're going to do the engineer event, which we already know what that does. So the other roadblock is going to come out, and it's going to be whoever's closest. Well, here's the crazy thing. There's an ally here within 3, and there's an ally there within 3. So which one does the deployment? It's going to be whoever's in the same, and there's actually one here within 3. So it's whoever's in the same division. Okay, so this guy wants to come out, but see, notice that he's in the 9th division there. And this one is the 1st, and that one's the 1st. This one, obviously, we don't check. So then we got to check these other ones. This guy is from the 106th division. I don't know if the camera's focusing real well on that. So let's see if there's any from the 106th here. This is 7th Armor, 7th Armor, 7th Armor. Okay, we don't have any divisions. So then the next tiebreaker, of course, is the Corps. Well, we got 2 of them that match the Corps. So this is going to be quite the dilemma here. I got to go back and check this out now. What are the rules saying? If possible, take a unit in the same division as the closest allied. If none, then the same chord. If a choice remains, take the lowest numbered unit. Okay, well that's going to be the tiebreaker. Which one's the lowest numbered? Ooh. Okay, this one is a 10. He's walking away sad because that's not the lowest. We have a 2 on this one and a 1 on this one. Yeah, these guys are 1, 2, and 3. So this tank is going to show up right there. And to be quite honest, that's a nice place to get a tank because it's out in the open and we can crush it. You say that in your favorite Ivan Rocky 4 voice there. I will crush you. And this is a lot better than him being in a city. So he's crushable whenever he's like that, although he is going to create problems now because we have to slow down and attack him, and you can see he's exerting a zone of control now that's going to interfere with our ability to get behind him, but it is what it is, and we can make something out of it. And yes, I did make a choice to either let these guys pop in or the other ones. And you can see that we're already getting a bunch of these guys already, and then we're going to get a whole bunch more tomorrow. So the north is going to be a little clustered. I don't know. I mean, I always read these after-action reports, and they go through the north, and that's how they win. And I probably should have delayed I should have let the 101st come out because they're going to come out to the south. But right now, the south is where we're getting all of our success. So if anything, these guys are coming out and just preventing me from going north with my middle band, and that's fine. Anyways, back to the game. That is the action for the allies. So now it's our turn. And yes, we got all kinds of good things we can do. And I think the first thing I want to do is let's activate the purple. So we're going to do this Panzer Corps right here. And we're going to activate them. So nothing earth-shattering there. I'm going to use this opportunity to try to destroy this. And then I want to get them consolidated, because you can see I have them sort of spread around, and I would like to get them more consolidated. So if I were to move here, oh no, this guy doesn't exert zone of control, so I can just go anywhere I want, really, around him. It is sort of nice to keep the layer division together because they can activate by themselves outside of these. And then the 2nd Panzer, you know, maybe. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move this 2nd Panzer to here. I'm going to move this guy to there. And then this one will join him here. So we got him surrounded, okay? And then the layer division can move 5. And we actually have some other options. We could, see, we can't go below this squiggly, actually. So we can't come down and help against this. That's the reason why this is so tough down here. The 7th Army has to take care of it themselves, and they're not very powerful. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go 1, 2, 3... So we're going to stack up a 3-stack there, and then this one will stack up with him there, and we got a 3-stacker here. These are all injured units underneath him. And yes, we're going to pound the living daylights out of this thing. It's 1 minimum, and then 1, 2, 3 for being elite, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 maximum. I am not going to play any combat tactics. He does get to draw a card, and he gets screen. So that screen reduces us to 7 combat tactics. I'm sort of okay with that. And let's draw. And he's in a forest, so he's canceling a hit. So I'm going all the way up to 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so is he dispersed or unsupplied? He will be next turn, but he's not right now. Oh, crap. IP crossfire. A large... Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, never mind. There we go. We got a large attack. He's in a forest. We're greater than 4 to 1. I can do the math here, but 2, 4, 7, 11, 15, 18, 22. He only has 2 strength, and I'm already at 22, and I still have another stack to go. So that's 11 to 1. So we're good there. There's no artillery. And see how the forest is just saving his ass? 1, 2, 3, 4 hits canceled. We only did 2. My goodness. He did hit us, but we canceled a hit. So that entire attack did absolutely nothing because he's in a forest. Do you see how much anger it creates when you're attacking something in a forest? I just don't... I don't appreciate it. So... nothing I can do to mitigate that. I drew a whole bunch of chits. I surrounded him with an entire core. And there was nothing I can do. And we didn't even destroy his improved position. That's what makes it even worse. Okay, well, we still got another action, and I think you know what that's going to be. It's going to be this one, and I might do assault coordination, and I might even play this to get another something something. And then I have some fixed artilleries I can do as well. So I need to figure out what I want to do to tack on here. It's only a 3-command card, so let's go figure out what we want to do attack-wise. We still have that recon unit, which is a problem. We do have this unit here, which I will move in, like so. And then these are elite units here, so we got to try to take them out. So that'll be one battle. I'm just thinking. I have 2 stacks here that can take him on, but he's in a forest. Remember how much I love forests, right? Although we could arguably say we've drawn all the forest chits, so we might be safe. I would love to take this guy on, but you sort of have to go in and then you're taking him on by yourself instead of surrounding him. So I think I actually have an issue because this guy's on the road. I can't get this guy into the battle. So these guys are going to move up to here to try to take him on. Here's my dilemma. This is 2 movement points to go here. And then this is 4 more. Can't do it. So I can move along a road just fine, but then I'm breaking up this unit, which I could do. The problem is that's 3 movement points to go there, and then he's not in the battle. You know what? This is 2 here. Oh no, that's 3 to go here. But it's only 1 to go here. So I can do it. I can just go over and join this guy in the 150th. All right, and then these guys can march 1, 2, like so. All right, so I got a couple options here. The first one is I can blast this one with all 3 of these and it's a flank. Or I can try to attack this double stacker with these 2 units. And I don't know which one. I mean, I definitely want to get rid of that armored unit. Or not armored, but the recon. I can only play 3 cards for combat tactics, so I have to pick the right ones here. Okay, well, up at the top, I'm going to do assault coordination. And we're going to get one of these red units to join us. And I think I'm going to take this one out, and this red unit will join the battle. So we're going to go after that one with assault coordination. Okay, and then this one here, this double stack unit, we're going to add fixed artillery. And then the bottom one, we will add another fixed artillery to the other one. So they're each going to have 1 combat tactic. So yeah, I'm playing a lot of cards because I know I'm going over my limit here. And that's fine. So which one do we do first? I think there's an advantage to doing the armored car first. Because, well, yeah. He's going to just retreat into his own hexes anyways. But you know what? Yeah, the armored car we'll do first. Okay, so it's a minimum of 1. And then we have 1, 2 for being, 3 for being elite, and then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4, 5, 6. So 6 chits total, and we draw their card, and we got the 5th corps, and then it says it's a corps artillery. Corps artillery is a wonky one. It's different than regular artillery. Yeah, so it's regular artillery for them, and then on top of it they have to draw a second card, and so they would have gotten whatever this card said, which is just artillery. So we got lucky, because if this would have said something like screen, he would have gotten both combat tactics, but since it's redundant, it doesn't do anything for him. So he does have artillery though. So we're going to draw 1 for him. Oh, we get 1 more because of our combat tactics, so we actually can draw 7. Okay, 1 for him. Is it greater than 1.5 to 1? I'm pretty darn sure it is. He has 2. This is 5, 10, 15, 17. So we're at 8 to 1 on him. So this is good. Although seeing us take a hit is not good, but I'm going to draw all the way up to the 7. So we got 1 hit on him, but that's not enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, is he undispersed, unsupplied? No, he does have a defender adjacent. He cancels his hit. The defender is recon, so he's canceling another hit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we're taking a pounding, folks. Only the attacker has armor. We are not flanking him. And there's a defender adjacent. Oh my goodness. This backfired so badly. He canceled 2 hits, and we did 1 on him. And he did 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on us. Oh my gosh. All right, well, the 1 hit on him is just going to be a retreat. And his retreat blue is here, so he's just going to retreat to there. And now he's going to have an improved position helping him. We take 2 hits, so 1 hit there. And 1 hit there. And the reason I said we're only taking 2 is because we can negate 3 and 4. Okay, so here's the rule. You take a hit with your first hit, and then you can negate the second and third hit with dispersal markers, and then every hit after that you take hits. So we took 4 hits. So the first hit would be on this guy, then we put the dispersal marker to negate 2 and 3, and then since we had a 4th hit, I had to hit 1 guy over here. You have to always spread evenly between stacks. Okay, so awful outcome. And as far as I'm concerned, we did everything right. We even had 8 to 1 odds. This was just a bad pull. And we're not doing anything in the north right now, folks. That's necessary for us to get our push in. And we're not even close to getting... before we continue, I had a Piper unit here. The Piper unit was going to do something. And so I think he's just going to go up and take this guy on. So let's just do that right now. It's 2 chits for minimum, and we can draw 1, 2, 3 chits. So he gets a card. It's the 5th Corps, so he has Tank Battalion. So that means he has an extra strength, so it's now just 1 to 1 odds instead of 2 to 1. And this is going to suck. He also has armor. So here's the 2 chits minimum. The first one we drew was a blue, which of course means all the stuff that hurt us is going back in. And he's not in a city, he's in Broken. So we're taking a hit. And there's the defender green, yes they are. So those are the two chits. I can draw one more if I wanted, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And see if we get something we like. We got city, town, forest. This one just doesn't do anything. So 2 hits on him, 1 on us. With the Piper unit, that actually hurts. I got a little careless with Piper here. I probably shouldn't have done what I just did. So Piper takes the damage, and he gets 2 hits. So he's going to retreat for the first one. And then for the second one, he is going to retreat again because he would lose zone of control. So he's going to retreat twice and become disrupted. And then we're going to go ahead and move forward, and we could move here. I don't know if I want to, because that would create a surround situation for us. Well, not necessarily. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move in, because that lets us move in. Yeah, so he's going to go in and start disrupting them. Or at least making it hard for them to move around and whatnot, and create a little bit of a surround situation. Okay, so probably not the smartest thing in the world. All right, this last one, oh no, we got 2 more battles. Let's do the double stack here. No, yeah, they're in a forest, so guess what? Nope, they're in a town. That's not a forest, it's a woods town. So their minimum is 4. And then our maximum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 chit minimum, 5 chit maximum. And let's draw their card. They get engineers. So they're getting, oh gosh, they're getting an improvement marker. So the rich just get richer. Oh, nope, they're in a town. They can't get an improvement marker. So engineers didn't do them any good. So finally we get a break. Okay, let me just go for the record and say that if I somehow win this battle, like devastate them, this makes up for the other stuff that didn't go our way. Because taking out this double stack is pretty impressive. All right, so it's 4 minimum though. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's in the woods. He's in the town actually. That takes priority over the woods, so that hurts. What are the odds? Don't tell me the odds. 3. He's got 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. We're only 2 to 1. Oh my gosh. This was not a smart attack. This was not a smart attack at all. Those were 2 wonderful ones if we had better. We're not even going to be able to do a large attack, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Combat tactic makes it 6. Are any of those 3 pips? No, they're not. Oh. So we take a hit and they absorb a hit. So I'm going to quit. I'm not going to go anymore. So we take a hit and nothing happens to him. Then we go up to here, and it's 2 minimum, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the combat tactic. And once again, I just spread out way too thin on this. I think I need to just concentrate and go a little slower. We are going to be 1.5 to 1 for sure. And he has a defender adjacent, so we just took 2 hits and he has none. I'm going to draw up to, what did we say, 6? Yeah, I'm doing it. Screw this. We need to break through somewhere. All right, so I need to figure out our odds. 3 to 4, 9, 13, 17. So that's 5 to 1 odds. So there we go. There we go. He's in broken. And there we go. Oh my gosh, look at all the hits that we took. These cancel for him. He's taking 2, 3, 4 hits. So we know for sure he's destroyed because he's a 2-pip unit. He's going to retreat twice and then take 2 damage. So we got him. He is an elite unit too, so that was nice. And I'm going to put him combined with the other unit and we scored a victory point. But we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage amongst our troops. My gosh. We're only attacking. So one of the hits is for sure going to be this guy. And then the other hit will be this guy. So that's 2. And then this is 3, 4. And we did 5 hits, so we got to hit another guy. The yellow, we just got emasculated over here. Any attacking force we had is gone. I mean, we still have a few spots where we can show strength, but this was awful. I played it wrong, folks. I apologize, but I've played twice now up there in the north where I've done way better than this. So this is my worst try. And I guess sometimes it just, that's how it works. The other thing is I was hoping to punch through up here and create supply problems, right? If I punch through, but I dispersed. So I had to in order to avoid all those extra hits. So by dispersing, I can't punch through, and they still have zone of control here. So I'm not going to be able to move through now. With them retreating, I would have been able to. I would at least been able to move once. The second move I couldn't have done because he got eliminated. That's that new Butterfield rule that's not in the rule books. So all in all, this was an awful impulse. What objectives? I mean, we couldn't take this little dude, even though we had him surrounded. This was just an awful impulse. So I have 1 card in my hand, and we're going to draw 2, 3, 4. This is the rest of the deck. And you can see I got 2 purples, or 2 pinks, I mean, blue, and then I got the 6th Panzer Army, which doesn't help us at all. The 6th Panzer Army is almost entirely disrupted right now. Okay, so the Allies get to go. They get an engineers. I don't think there's a roadblock anywhere. So that means they're going to place a roadblock somewhere. So let's figure this out. Unoccupied road position with a hold value of greater than 3 within 2 hexes of a German unit. Has to be in communication of both. Highest HV. Okay, so we have all kinds of candidates down here that are 3. The question is there one that's higher? And there is. 4. That one's 3. This one's also 4. Is it in communication for allies? Yes, it is. So then what's the tiebreaker? Westernmost and then northernmost. So if that's the case, westernmost and then northernmost, that means the roadblock is going to go here. Because the Vonderheit counts as a unit. And that's the northernmost. Well, it's not the westernmost. The westernmost is that one. So that's where the roadblock goes. Yeah. Westernmost is the first priority. Then northernmost. It's definitely going on a 4 spot. And I didn't see any 5 spots that were qualifying. So, okay, that's their turn. It's back to us. All right, we can't do anything with the yellow or purple cores. I have the 6th Army card, which would be great because then I can activate the yellow core, but the yellow core has been disrupted from start to finish. And if I did activate them, all I'm doing is just removing their disruption, which that's going to happen at the end of the day anyways. So if I knew I was going to be able to activate them twice, then it would make sense. But this is all I have left, and I'm not going to be able to activate them twice. I have a whole bunch of stuff for down here. And then on top of that, I have the 7th Army, which is also down here. So what's interesting is if I activate a unit, I can't activate it again for another impulse. And I mean, we're talking about 3 cards, 3 impulses. It's pretty rough. So I think what I'm going to do I honestly don't know what I'm going to do, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate these guys. Okay? So in doing so, I'm going to take this one and move him across the river to set up for something magical later. And then I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4 to here to keep him in zone of control. And then that's going to allow me to move this guy 2 points to here to get out of his zone of control. And then 1 point over to there. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And before I would have done that, I'm going to do bridge engineers. This event here, and fix this bridge. So the bridge, it's my understanding that it would be ours because there's no allied unit on the other side. Let me look that up again. Bridge ownership is a little wonky. $16.2, by the way, if you ever need to look it up. It said any new bridge can be built. And if it is built by the Germans, it belongs to the Germans. You may repair a destroyed bridge as long as the requirements in the event description are met. Okay, so the event description for bridge repair. German supply must trace to one hex bordering the hex side, and neither hex bordering the hex side may be occupied by or in the zone of control. Okay, never mind. It's in the zone of control. All right, all that excitement for nothing. It's in the zone of control of this guy. So, I mean, we were here, but this one was in the zone of control of that guy. So I'm going to take my card back. And I'm going to end the impulse. So now it's their turn. So the 5th Corps is going to deploy all their reserves. They do have one reserve to deploy. I'm pretty sure they're going to find a spot here because we sort of broke through their lines. And they're just going somewhere that's German proximate. Actually, this is a little harder because since this guy showed up, we're no longer able to go to as many places as we used to. And we can't put him somewhere that So question for Sir Brastius or Grant or some of the people I know who have been playing with me daily. The Corps, the 5th Corps only goes to this squiggly line right here, okay? So when the event came up to put a reinforcement here, it was whoever's the closest, and it was the 5th Corps that was closest. But this is outside of the Corps deployment area. Was that allowed? Which one's triumphant, or which one trumps it? Is it, you know, since this is outside of the Corps deployment area, it couldn't have been done? Or is it because that was the closest, so therefore he goes there no matter where it is on the board? I think I still did it correctly, but it's just that thought's going through my mind right now. And I'm actually a little hazy on that one. Okay, so back to this. It has to be somewhere that's German proximate, and here's the problem. There's nothing German proximate right now. I mean, this one is, but it's next to units. This one is, but it's in threat of being surrounded, and so therefore they wouldn't go there. This one is not German proximate. There is no German unit that can move here. And it's next to units anyways. So they're not going to deploy. I just don't see anywhere that they will deploy. I mean, there's stuff down here that they could possibly deploy to, but this is way outside of their core zone. They got to deploy above this squiggly line. And there's nothing above that squiggly line that is German proximate at this point. The von der Heik can't move, so nothing's German proximate for him. So, that guy is not deploying, and we move on to the next command. So they're going to try to activate now. Okay, so I don't think you've seen the Allies activate yet. So they may still not activate. We got to check a bunch of rules here. There are, on this player aid here, the Allied System Intelligence, this box that you see here is the Allied Activation Sequence. Eligible to activate if at least one unit in the formation meets one of the following. So we got to go check, 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 check. It gets a little easier because in December 19th, this strength check can cause them to activate all the time. But Is there anybody wandering behind enemy lines? The answer is no. That would mean that they're cut off from supply and communication, etc. There is a definition somewhere. Don't even bother. That's not happening. In danger of surround and not in a VP hex. Now that's possible. Let's go check that one out. Danger of surround means that we really can move in such a way that they would be surrounded. And Piper can move to here for 2 points and then to there and get this guy surrounded. In fact, he could do exactly that if we activated. So yes. Oh, hold on. These guys are in danger of surround. Oh, here he is. He's in danger of surround. So yes, they are activating. So all it took was 1 unit to qualify. Okay, so when they activate, I'm just realizing we've never done this before. So if this is your first time watching, this is obviously exciting because the allies are punching back now. But just to warn you, most of their attack cards are not in the deck yet. So most of these are just defensive cards. So don't get too excited yet. The big thing to understand is that every component has a number underneath it. So like that one has a 10. So we're gonna see cards that are gonna either activate from 1 up to 19 or 19 down to 1, you know, so the order that they activate is gonna be dictated by the card. So what we do is we draw 3 cards from this deck. So first time ever, we're gonna draw 3 cards. And let me back up a little bit so we can have more room. And what you do is you sort them by the number here. So the 2 is first, and then the 19, and then the 21, just like that, okay? So we ignore the 19 and 21 right now. We're only doing the 2. This says we're gonna activate from 27 down to 1. So we start with the highest numbered unit and we go backwards, okay? That's the first thing. This card gets removed on December 27th, that's later. The unit, the situation, if the unit is proximate, that means he can do movement points to an empty position to which a German unit is also proximate position with HV less than 5. So basically it's saying if the position is less than 5 points, it can't be in another allied zone of control. If it is in another allied zone of control, they're not going to go there. But if it's greater than 5 or 5 or more, it'll go there anyways. So what it's trying to do is fill gaps and go to a empty position to which a German unit could also get to. So basically they're trying to move and block you from advancing. So what it would do is its action, it's going to move to the position. If there's more than one choice, it's going to go to the highest HV, then the fewest movement points required. However, there's 3 checks here. He's always going to preserve the line, he's always going to avoid surround, and he's always going to protect VP hexes. So what does that mean? Preserve the line is best explained down here. This guy has a zone of control here, right? So this guy's exerting zone of control here and here. This one's exerting zone of control here and here. These guys are preserving the line. If any one of these were to move, they would cause a break in the line, because then a gap would open up for German communication to come through. Okay, so these guys would never, ever be able to move if they have a preserve the line command. So that's a similar situation we gotta look at up there. But this is a perfect example of preserve the line situation. They would never activate or move, period, no matter what the action was, if they have a preserved line. Avoid surround is exactly what I said. They won't move anywhere where the Germans in one movement could surround them, okay? So they just won't do it. They would rather not do the action at all. The third one is protect VP hex. If they're on a VP hex, they won't move, period. They ignore the command. Okay, so with that out of the way, we got to go over here and go through the units, top to bottom, and they're all over the place. So the whole core is activating, and you can see this unit here is number 8. This unit here is number 8. Okay, this one's 7, this one's 5. I'm gonna move this around. This is 14. This is 13, 6, and 3. Okay, so this one's gonna activate first, this guy. All right, now, he's in a stack with a unit from a different core. And if the command card says unit, which this one does, see it says unit here. If it says unit, only the unit's going to do something. Sometimes, like this one, see how it says unit / stack? That means that if the unit is in a stack, the entire stack moves with it, or does whatever the action is with it. So that unit, even though he's from a different core, he would do whatever this pullback command is, okay? So got to pay attention to those keywords. I'm saying it because I learned that the hard way. But right now it's just a unit. So we're going to activate this particular unit, and he's going to try to move to a position that the Germans can also move to, but he's avoiding surround and preserving line. So let's figure out what that means. Okay, we know for sure he's not on a VP hex, so let's not worry about that. This is not a VP hex. It is definitely a position that Germans are proximate to, and so is he. Okay, let's get it focused here for you. Okay, this is a position that Germans are proximate to, so is he. However, he's in risk of being surrounded if he goes there, because these units, especially this one that's not dispersed, can move there easily in 1, 2, and get him surrounded. Okay, so somebody mentioned to me once that that's not surround when there's another unit next to him, because he can always trace supply and command through this unit. Per the game rules, that is not the definition of surrounded. Surrounded is I can have zone of control all around him, the Germans do. And I do have zone of control here, even though there's a unit that's going to allow him to maintain supply. So long story short, this position is in threat of being surrounded, and he cannot move there. It's just not what he's going to do. So then where else can he go? And there is nothing else that's German proximate. These positions, these units are positioned in such a way that we actually, our battles went so badly, we didn't punch through any areas. So there's nowhere for us to go. And so long story short, he's going to do nothing. So that means he's eligible for the next command in this deck. Okay, so if we go through everybody like this one is a similar situation. This one is on a VP hex, so he's not moving. So is that one. This one he would only move if the Piper could get there, right? So this one, the Piper can't get there, so he's not moving. Nobody's moving. This guy down here is on a VP hex, so he's not moving. Okay, so nobody's doing this particular action. No one's filling the gap. And in fact, the preserve the line prevents, by the way, this one from moving, even if he could, because he's preserving the line right now. This zone of control goes here. I mean, I guess you could say this one's preserving, so this one could move, because this guy would put zone of control there, and that guy puts, so this guy could move. It's just that there's nothing to move to, okay? So fill the gap does nothing. So next we go to the next card, which is withdrawal under fire. So the situation for this one, let's read it real quick. You have to study these cards, they're pretty wordy. Okay, if the unit is surrounded or in danger of surround in a less than 5 hold value hex and proximate or adjacent to hex in allied communication. So they're going to move to a hex in allied communication, ignoring German controls, zone of controls in the first hex entered. Move additional hexes if able. Then in a direction closest to the withdrawal direction, stop upon entering a hex not in danger of surround. Okay, so this is just the unit, it's not the stack. So what's going to happen here is This is 39 down to 1. This unit here is going to get out of dodge. He's going to withdraw under fire, and he's allowed to move in such a way that he can ignore German zone of control for the first move. So he's going to preferably go in the withdrawal direction, which is here. Okay? And that costs him 1 movement point. And now he can keep withdrawing. Well, actually, let me read this. He has to move in a direction in which Allied supply can be traced, and then in a direction closest to the withdrawal direction. So Allied supply is everywhere here, so we're not worried about supply. So now he's going to move in the direction of his withdrawal. He can't move here because this is zone of control. So I think if he did this, he's actually stuck. Now what's funny is if he would have moved up here, then he would have been able to move and get out of dodge and be safe. But it says it has to move in the direction of Allied supply, and then if there's a tie, it has to go in the withdrawal direction. So he's going to go in the withdrawal direction, and that's actually going to hurt him. So he's going to withdraw to Bullingen here, but then he's going to get stuck. He can't withdraw anymore. He could, I guess, withdraw this way. Yes, he would. So that would be his second movement. And then his third movement, he can't do because it costs 2 movement points to go here. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to just sort of zigzag a little bit. That does get him out of threat of being surrounded. So it accomplishes the goal in a really wonky way. But his turn is over. So then we have to do that same check with everybody else. Nobody else is in threat of being surrounded, folks, so no worries there. This one was in threat of being surrounded, this guy. However, this one ended up saving his bacon because now we can't move back behind him. So nobody else is going to act. And then we go to the last one, which is pull back. And so here it says the unit and stack in a hex less than 5 hold value, able to move, and out of communication or in danger of surround. If they're out of communication, they're going to do A. If they're in communication, they would do B. Okay, so there's nobody in danger of surround right now. After that guy moved out, like he did, he's fine. So nobody's going to do anything with that. So you might be thinking, well, this was a stinker. Nobody's doing anything. However, when a core acts like this and they don't act on any of those 3 cards, they all get improvement markers. So this guy gets one. This is like Oprah. You get a car. You get a car. And they're in a town. They don't get a car. You get a... Nope, he withdrew. He doesn't get anything. So 2 guys got cars. So that's... Excuse me, that's the Allied impulse there. Okay. Now it's to us. I'm at 54 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop, and I'll see you in a few seconds. Stay awesome.